Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nanda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivastadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadara Srivasadi Gaura Bhaktavinda.
Jaya Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhar Srivasadi Gaur Bhaktavinda
Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare
Hare.
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare Rama,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Hare
Rama
Rama,
Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare Hare,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Rama, Rama
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Rama Rama,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna, Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama, Hare
Rama, Hare Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama, Hare
Rama,
Hare.
Hare
Hare Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna,
Hare Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare, Hare
Hare, Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare
Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare.
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama,
Rama, Hare
Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare
Hare
Hare.
Rama.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Hare
Rama,
Hare
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Krishna
Krishna
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Hare,
Hare,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
Hare
Rama,
Rama,
Rama
Rama
Rama,
Rama,
Hare
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 Hare.
Krishna, Hare Krishna, Krishna Krishna, Hare Hare, Hare Rama, Hare Rama, Rama Rama, Hare Hare.
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
Krishna,
Hare
Hare
Krishna,
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 Krishna
Hare
Krishna,
Hare,
Hare
Hare Rama, Rama, Rama Rama,
Nitai
Hare
Gaura Hari
Hare.
Bo, Hari Bo, Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo.
Nitai
Nitai Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol,
Hari
Hari Bol,
Bol, Hari
Hari
Bol,
Bol.
Hari
Nitai
Bol.
Gaura Hari Bo, Hari Bo, oh Hari Bo, Nitai Gaura Hari Bo.
Nitai
Nitai
Gaura
Gaura
Hari
Hari Bol,
Bol,
Hari
Hari
Bol, Hari Bol, Hari
Jaya
Bol.
Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya
Jaya
Gurudev,
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 Jaya
Gurudev.
Jaya Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Guru Dev, Jaya Jaya Guru Dev.
Jaya
Jaya Jaya
Jaya
Gurudev, Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Gurudev,
Gurudev.
Gurudev, Gurudev.
Jai Srila Prabhupada, Srila Guru Maharaj, Srila Guru Dev, Srila Acharya Dev Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai,
Jai Giri Govardhana Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai,
Jai Navadvip Dham, Mayapur Dham, Vrindavan Dham Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai Jagannath Puri Dham Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai,
Jai Yamunamai Gangamai Ki Jai. Jai
Jai,
Srimati
Jai,
Tulsi Devi Ki Jai.
Ki Jai.
Jai.
Premzik Ho Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Shri Vasudeva Gaur Bhaktivinoda Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai,
Jai Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Pad Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai
Jai,
Shri Chaitanya Saraswat Institute Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai
Jai,
Bhakti Vedanta Institute Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai Yamunamai Gangamai Ki Jai.
Jai,
Jai,
Jai all glories to the assembled devotees Ki Jai.
Ki Jai,
Jai,
All glories to all the worldwide devotees Ki Jai.
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 Jai Gaur Premanandi.
Hari Hari
Hari
Bol.
Hari Hari Bol.
Shiva Shiva Bhakti Madhav Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Jai,
Jai Shanta Maharaj, Mani Maharaj, all Maharajas, and all the
Jai,
devotees Ki Jai.
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 All right, who is this on the bottom?
I don't know.
Oh,
Someone else joined through the phone. They
Oh.
have to say who they are.
okay. Would you like to introduce yourself? Who's calling by phone? Hare Krishna. All right. Why is that blinking? Rasavas, why is your video blinking like that? You don't know.
I don't know.
Okay.
I have no idea. It's blinking all the time.
All right.
I don't know why.
Your camera is on?
Yes.
Oh, it's showing only your profile. The video does not show your.
I don't know.
Somebody,
Let me see.
732. Someone's calling. We don't hear your voice if you're trying to speak something.
16, right? Ends with 16.
Huh?
Ends with 16. The number.
The phone.
It's an 8-8 one actually.
There are two numbers, one which ends with 88 and another 16.
1-6, that's Krishna Keshava.
Oh,
Yes.
So another is 8-8.
yeah. 1-6 is Krishna Keshava. Okay.
Okay. All right. An anonymous visitor. All right. So then, if you have the Kirtan guide,
Yes, ma'am.
page 38. Vishwajit, do you have a copy? Kirtan
I
guide.
downloaded it a long time back. I downloaded it, but don't remember where it is on system. But I think I'll just sit and listen, and that will give me kind of.
He can send you a link. You can send him a link.
Can't attach it. Can't send any attachments for this.
Huh?
I can't send any attachments for this.
Okay. Can you send him a link?
It's on the SCS Smart website right now. It's the 4th edition I'm able to see here. Kirtan Guide 4th edition.
We're trying to send you a link. I don't. Okay.
So the Sundari Didi from Australia told that she wants to join. Maybe she will join, I think.
Did you get the link?
I sent it to everyone.
Yes.
Okay. Link was sent to you if you like to download and follow. We're on page 38
Sure.
of that. Oh, that's called Pocket Kirtan
you.
Guide. Yes, Prabhu. So, Vandana means prayers. Say our prayers today. Prayer means praise. Praise. Vandeham
Sri
Sri Guru Sri Guru Padakam Sa
Sri Ram
Sri Rupa
Sagrajata Saganata Raghunatam Vitam Tam Sajivam Satvitam
Advaitam
Savadhutam
Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Deva Sri Radha Krishna Prabhanan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vasakantam Om Aganat Ranjana Stalakaya Chakshurun Tasmai Shri Gurave Puja Shri Guru Bhargava Mahabhava Purva Parya Chalita Pragya Pamurta Krite Bhakti
Harasya
Vitam
Vitam Sarasakam
Sadam
Sadam
Vande Shri Guru Deva
Manata
Shri
Sira
Acharya
Acharya
Puranjana Gorvavistas
Purvakam
Purnaya
Shisha Shambhoshitam
Chintya Chintya
Nitya Chinta Samasta
Samasta
Vedanipidam
Nirupa
Srirupa Pataparam
Gopinda
Vidam
Bidam
Vichalam
Pushpalam Bharat
Bhaktam
Tanum Bhaktan
Bhaktivitam
Vitam
Sundaram
Vande Vishwakarun Charya
Vandeveshwarunacharya
Bhagavat Premna
Bhagavadrohi
Devam Divyatanam
Devam Divyatam
Suchandavaranam
Suchandavaranam
Malarka Chaitanya
Malarkachilam
Sandrananda
Sandrananda
Parabrahmi
Sarikavaranam
Vairagya
Sri
Shri Siddhanta Nidim
Siddhanta Nidim Subhaktila
Subhakti
Sitam
Saraswati
Atmatanam Param
Vandekam Subhadam
Sumadam Madeka Saranam
Dashishwara
Ishwaram Sridharam
Shri
Sri
Siddhanta
Siddhanta
Saraswati
Saraswati Ki
Gaudiya
Rita Gaudija Gurambaye
Bhajo Manuvira
Gagane
Gora
Gaura Sankirtanai
Ayavada
Javara
Timingala
Timingilodaram Gadante Tirajivara
Krishna Prema
Krishna
Siddhanta
Prema Sahitana Sukham
Bharat
Tatramudam Braye
Namo
Namo
Gauraya
Gauraya
Bhaktavaduta Bhutaye
Bhaktavataye
Shri
Bhagavata
Padmaya Radhavavana
Sevine
Vande Bhakti
Vande
Vinodam
Bhakti Vinodam Sri
Varashtai
Gaurashakti Swarupakam
Bhakti Shastri
Shastra
Samrajam
Vyastakam
Radharasa
Radharasa Sudhaim
Gauravajashita
Gauraprestis Kesai
Vaishnavaya
Vaishnava Vigraha
Jagannatha
Sagrata Prabhum
Prabhupada
Bande
Premabdeva
Devi Vaishnava
Panchakapa
Pavatarubhyascha
Vasit
Kripa Sindhuvyacha
Patitanam
Patitanam
Pavaneya
Pavaneya
Vaishnavebhyo
Vaishnavibho Namo Namaha
Panchatattva
Panchatattvamakam
Krishna
Krishnam
Bhaktarupa
Bhaktarupa Swarupakam
Bhaktavataram
Bhaktavataram Bhaktayam
Namami
Nibhakta
Bhakta
Shaktikam
Namo
Namo
Mahavadaya
Mahavadaya
Krishna
Krishna
Prema
Prema
Pradayate
Pradayate
Krishnaya Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Namne Gauratu Se Namah
Namaha
Jayatam
Yatam
Surato Pando
Suratapango
Mama Mandamate
Mandamate
Gati
Gati
Matsarva
Matsarva
Swapadam
Swapadam
Bhujo
Bhujau
Radhamadana
Radhamadana
Mohanam
Mohanau
Divya
Yadrindaranya
Vrindavanyakamam
Karsurumada
Srimad
Radhanagara
Radhagara Singhasanastho
Simhasanasto
Shri Gandharva Shri
Gandharva
Govindadevo
Govindadevo
Praise the
Krishna
Lady
Devi
Manu
Sivya
Swarami
Swami
Shriman Rasa Saramdi
Manravasarambi
Bhangsivara
Bhakti Vata
Tadasita
Tatasita Karsam
Karshan Venu
Venu
Swanardi
Swanardi
Gopinatha Shri
Gopinata Srijastunaha
Vrindayai Tulsi
Jaya Tulasi
Devai
Devai
Vijayai
Jaya
Krishna
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 Bhakti
Krishna
Praditi
Bhakti
Devi
Bhakti Devi
Satyavachai Namo
Satyai Namaha
Ottanatva
Tanatra
Mandaguru
Mantra Guru
Bhagavatartha
Guru
Vyasam Jagat Guru
Yasam Jagat Guru
Natva
Natva
Gojayamudire
Gojayamudire
Jai Sapadika Shri
Saparikara Sisi Guru
Bhagavatam Jayastu
Jayastu
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Chaitanya
Prabhu Nityananda
Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Advaita
Shri Advaita
Gadadhar
Gadadhara
Shri Vasadi Gaura
Srivasadi
Bhakti
Gaurabhakta Hare
Hare
Krishna
Krishna
Hare
Hare Krishna
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 Hare
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 Hare Rama Hare
Hare
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Rama
Rama Hare
Rama
Hare
Hare Hare
Jai Shri Prabhupada Shri Guru Maharaj Shri Gurudev Shri Acharya Dev Ki Jai
Joy.
Jai.
O Premanandi Hari Hari Hare Bo
Hare Hare
Hari
Hare
Hari Bol.
Joy Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj
Hare
ki joy.
Krishna.
Jai
Jai.
Yeah.
Jai.
Page 105 Page 105. Now what happened? Page 105. Amar jivana sara papirata nahika punyera lesha.
Amari Vanna Sapapeta Kapulera Leta
Parera urvega diachi ekata diachi jivera klesha.
Parera Udvega Yati Ekata Yati Era Leta
Nija shukalagi pape nahi dari daya hina svarta para.
Nija sukha
Ape
pape
nahi
nahi
dari
daya
Dayahina
hina
Swanta
swarta
Para
para.
Para sukhe duki sadamitya basi para duka sukha kara.
Para sukhe sada mitya basi para dukha sukha.
Asesha kamana hidi mahi mora krodi damba parayana.
Asesa kamana hide mahi Krodi Bapayana.
Amada mata sada vishaye mohita hingsa garva vibhushana.
Mada mata sada visaye mohita Himsa Bhutana.
Anidra lasya hata sukarye pirata akarye udyogi ami.
Nidra Shahata Sukarye Virat Akarye Ujogiyami.
Pratista lagya satya acharana lobha hata sarakami.
Pratista lagiya satya charana
Ehena dujana sajana vajita aparadi nirantara.
Ehena durjana sajana pachita aparadhinirantara.
Subhakaya shunya saranartha manna nana dukhe jara jara.
Bhuvakaya sadana
Ana
saranana
Dukhe
jara
Jara
jara.
O vardhake ekana upaya vihina tate dina akinchana.
Bharyate
Vardhake
kana upaya atedina
O
kinchana.
bhakti vinoda prabhura charane kare dukani vedana.
Bhakti vinoda prabhura charane vedana.
Amar jivana sara papirat aika punyera lesha.
Amara jivana sare papera naika punyera lesa.
Parera urvega diachi ekata diachi jivera klesha.
Pare putega diya chiye kata diya chiye lesa.
That's so much, Page 49.
Raj,
Huh? That's not it.
can we go through the meaning?
Oh,
Yes.
Page 16, Prabhuji.
Can we read the translation?
no. Page 16. Okay.
Yeah, page 16, Maharaj.
16.
Yashamati Nanda.
Thank you, Prabhu.
Thank you.
Muni Maharaj? You know that?
Mike.
Huh? Your mic is muted? Muni
Yes,
Maharaj?
Maharaj.
Your mic is muted? Still muted?
Dandavat Maharaj.
Okay,
Yeah.
Dhanavad.
So I have to sing this one, Maharaj.
Yasomati Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana. You know that?
Yes, Maharaj.
Okay.
Jashomat Nandana Brajabara Nagara Gokula Ranjana Kana
Yasomati
Gopi Paran Dhan Madan Manohar Kaliya Daman Vidhana
Madana Manohara
Amala Harinam Miya Vilasa Tina Purandara Navina Nagara Bara Vamshivadana Suhasa Brajajanalan Asurkulanasana Nanda Godhana Rakhavala Govinda Madhava Navanita Taskara Sundara Nanda Gopala
Govinda Nanda Gopala
Jamuna Tatasara Goti Vasanhara Akar Kritamaya
Yamuna Tatachara Gopi Vasanahara Rasadasi Karibiya
Radha Vallabha Vindavana Natavara Vinod Raya
Thank you, Maharaj.
Dandavat Maharaj.
Dhanyavad. Guru Vastika.
Maharaj?
45, huh?
45.
Yes.
Yes. Right. Asaraj, bro.
Yes, Maharaj.
Can you say? Thank you, Prabhu.
Yes, sure. Samsara dava nalalita loka Ranaya karunya gana gana
samsara
Pratasya kalyana gunarnavasya Ande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Nitya Gita Vaditra Madhya Manasura Sena
Mahaprabhu Kirtana Gita Bhadyan Manasura Sena
Romanchakam Pasrutaranga Vayu Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Sri Vigrahara Dhananidhya Nana Sringarata Mandira Majanado
Vigrahara Dhananidhyana Sringaran Mandir Bhajanara
Yuktasya Bhaktam Chaninjuyatopi Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Chaturvidha Sri Bhagavat Prasado Swadana Sriptam Hari Bhakta Sangam
Chaturvidhari Sri Bhagavan Sharo Hari Bhaktasangam
Kritva Tretin Bhajato Sadeva Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Sri Radhika Madhava Yorapara Madhurya Lila Gunarupa Naman
Sri Radhika Madhavyoga
Pratiksana Swadana Lolupasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Parikshana Swadana Lolopasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Nikunja Juno Rati Kelisi Jai Ajali Vir Yukti Rapekshaniya
Nikunjayo
Tatra Tidakshya Atibalavasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Tatra Tidakshari Balabhasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Shachadari Tve Nachamasta Chasai Uktastata Vapyatai Vasati
Rakshadari
Kintu Prabhurya Priya Evatasya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Kintu Prabhoya Vande Guru Sri Charanaravinda
Jasya prasada bhagavat prasado Jasya prasada nadati kutopi
Yasha
Yasya
Prasada Bhagavat Prasada Yasha
Yasha
Prasada
prasada
Nagati
nagode kotopi.
Yayastuvam tasya yasastri sandhyam Vande guru sri charanarabindam
Jayam
Jayam
Shivam tasya yasha krisangyam. Vande guru sri charanarvindam.
Srimad Guru Rastakameta Uchai Brahme Muhurte Patati Prajatna
Srimad
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 Guru
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 Rasa
Rastakam
Kamedanu
Padoti.
Brahme
Brahmi
Murti
Muhurti Prayatna.
Jastina Vrindavana Nata Saksha Sevai Valavya Januansa Eva
Yasena
Vrindavananata Saksha Bhami Valavya
Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam Vande Guru Sri Charanarabindam
Vande
Vande
Guru
Guru Charanaravinda
Charanarvindam
Vande
Vande
Guru
Guru
Charanaravinda
Jaya
Charanarvindam
Jaya Gurudev 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 Gurudev
Jaya
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 Jaya Jaya
Gurudev 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 Jaya Gurudev.
Hari Bol.
Hare Krishna, Jai Guru Dev, Jai Rasaraj Prabhu Ki Jai.
Jai.
Yeah.
Zana?
I offer my obeisance. Can you hear me?
Yes,
You hear me well?
yes, well.
Yes, yes, very nice.
I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, the ocean of goodness, who assumes the form of a cloud of mercy to deliver the souls burning in the blazing fire of material existence. I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet Sri Guru, who sheds waves of tears, trembles, and experiences horripilation through his devotion to Sriman Mahaprabhu and becomes maddened at heart by chanting, dancing, singing, and playing instruments. I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, who daily engages himself and other devotees in dressing the deity with various ornaments, cleaning the deity temple, and performing other devotional practices. I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, who is always satisfied by satisfying the Lord's devotees with the four types of tasteful Bhagavat Prasad. I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, who is always eager to relish the unlimitedly sweet names, forms, qualities, and pastimes of Sri Sri Rahika Madhava. I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, who is very expert in the arts performed by the Sahis to fulfill the forest couple's love play, and thus very dear to them. I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, who is said by all the scriptures to be the Lord Himself, and considered to be so by the sadhus, yet is the Lord's beloved devotee. I offer my obeisance unto the lotus feet of Sri Guru, praising and meditating upon his glory and the three junctions of the day. By his grace, one gains the Lord's grace. Without his grace, one has no shelter anywhere. One who very carefully recites aloud these three Gurvashtakam during the Brahma Muhurta the 96-minute period before sunrise attains direct service to the Lord of Vrindavan at the end of life.
Haribo.
Haribo.
Thank you. Thank you, Sana.
And the cat. You're right there.
Shanta Maharaj, what would you like to say?
Maharaj, whatever you say, Maharaj.
All right, you know this next one, page 48.
Okay, Maharaj. Maharaj, this song is Panchatattva song. So generally we sing first the Panchatattva mantra, then we sing this, Maharaj. So I will start with Panchatattva.
Okay.
Panchatattva mantra. Is that okay, Maharaj?
Yes, very nice.
Okay, Maharaj. Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda
Shri Krishna
Krishna
Chaitanya
Prabhu
Prabhu
Nityananda
Nityananda
Shri Advaita Gadadhar Sivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Advaita Gadadhara Srivasadi Gaur Bhakta Vrinda
Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Jive Daya Kori
Shri Krishna Chaitanya
Prabhu Jive Tori
Saparsada Siya Dhama Saha Avatari
Swaprasthadama Sahavatari
Atyanta Durlabha Prema Koribare Dana
Atyanta Durlabha
Sikaye Sarana Goti Bhakatera Prano
Sikaya Saraya
Danya Atmani Vedana Gopitve Parana Tavasya Rakhive Krishna Vishwasa Palana Bhakti Ranukula Matra Karjera Svikara
Bhakti
Bhakti Pratikula Bhava Varjanangikara
Bhakti Pratikula
Saranga Sarana Goti Hoi Vijara
Saranga Sarana Hoi
Tahara Patana Sune Vinanda Kumara
Tahara Pratana Srinanda Kumara
Patana Tana Pade Dante Trina Kori Bhakati Vinoda Pade দুই পদ ধরি
ভকতি
বিনোদাপতি দুই পদ ধরি
কান্দিয়া কান্দিয়া বলে আমি তো ধম
ও কন্দিয়া
কান্দিয়া
পারে অনিতা
শিখায়ে শরণাগতি কর হে উত্তম
শিখায়ে শরণাগতি সুরায় জয় Chaitanya Mahaprabhu ki jai.
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 Then what's it? Kanapriya, Didi, would you like to sing one song? Yes.
Oh yeah. Read us sing. Which one?
You have one?
Would you like? Which would you like me to do, Mirage?
Well, do you have one you like to sing?
We could sing. Page 59, maybe I could try this one. Or is there one for maybe Nityananda? Which one do you think, Maharaj? I don't know.
59 is what? Which one?
59.
Yes, that would be very nice.
Which one? Takura Vaishnava Gana?
Huh?
Which one? Which one?
Lovely.
Takura Vaishnava Gana.
Do you know that one? How about the one on page 58? Vaishnava Thakur?
I don't know if I know this. What's the tune to that one, Maharaj? I know the other one.
Vaishnava Thakura Dayara Sagara Ekasekari. You know that?
Okay.
Diya Pada Chaya Shorahe Amaya Tomara Charanadari.
Yes, I know, Maharaj.
Okay.
Okay.
Die.
Okay. Vaishnava Thakura Doyara Sakara Itasa Karuna Kori.
Vaishnava Thakura Dayara
Diya Pada Chaya Shota Hi Amara Tumara Charanadari.
Diya Pada Chaya Shorahe Amaya Tomara Charanadari.
Chaya Vegadami Chaya Dosha Shoti Chaya Guna Deho Dasi.
Chaya
Vegadami Chaya Dosha Shoti
Chaya Sat-Sanga Deho Hi Amare Bachichi Sangiro Ase. Ekaki Amara Nahi Paya Pala Harinama Sankirtani.
Ekaki Amara
Tumi Kripa Kori Shata Bindutiya Deha Krishna Namatani.
Tumi
Kripa Kori
Shata Bindutiya Deha Krishna
Krishna se tomara Krishna daiti para tomara shapati ache.
कृष्ण से
Krishna
तुम्हारा
जय भारत हमारा
आशा
Amita Kangala Krishna Krishna Pali Taita Pache Pache.
हमें
Amitu Kangala Krishna Krishna Pali Tai Pache Tava Pache Pache.
Krishna Krishna
Oye Vaishnavata Kurataya Rasakara Hitasha Karuna Kori. Deya Padachaya Shotahi Amaya Tumara Charanatari. Jaya Vaishnavata Ko, Vaishnavata Ko, Vaishnavata Ko, Jaya Vaishnavata Ko. Jai.
Thank you.
Yes.
Then Ajay Prabhu, are you there?
His video is off.
Microphone is muted. They had
Hello.
some child care. Something to care for. All right.
Yeah, Prabhuji, I'm there. Hare Krishna.
You're there. Oh, good. Prabhu, would you like to read the English?
Yeah, sure, Prabhuji. One second.
Page 58. Vaishnava Thakur.
Oh, worshipful Vaishnava. Everybody can hear me?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, brother. Oh, worshipful Vaishnava. Ocean of grace, be merciful to this servant. Give me the shade of your feet and purify me. I clasp your feet. Subjugate the 6 urges, rectify the 6 defects, and bestow the 6 good qualities upon this servant. Grant me the 6 kinds of good association. I have sat at your feet, desiring that association. Alone, I do not have ability to properly chant the Lord's name. Mercifully give me a drop of faith and bestow upon me the wealth of Krishna's name. Krishna is yours. You can give Krishna. You have that power. I am very poor. Calling Krishna, Krishna, I run after you. I run after you. I run after you in the hope of attaining the wealth of Krishna. If you desire to give Krishna, you can give him. If you desire to give, you can give. Krishna is the wealth of your heart. You have the power to give Krishna.
No, there was
If only you desire to give Krishna, you can give him. Hare Krishna.
Thank you, Prabhu. I love this.
Maharaj,
Yes.
can you talk about the second paragraph? Subject the 6 urges, rectify 6 defects, and bestow the 6 good qualities upon the
I
servant?
can't remember them all, but let's see.
Well, it's urges, defects, good qualities,
But it's
and 6 kind of good association.
Yes. Can anyone find that reference for those?
Yeah, I've got it. It's in the main one, I think. I've got it in here.
Where they're
Right, if I
enumerated.
can just find the
Okay.
Vaishnava.
You read it if you have it.
Bak Beg, Maharaj. Jiva Beg.
Let Kanapriya read it.
I'm just trying to find the It's in the big book. I know it's explained in the big book, but I'm just trying to find the
A footnote.
the page it's on the big book.
I
Does
could
anyone
see
know
it in
what's...
this SS Word International.
Vishwajit Prabhu, do you know?
Do you know which page is on the big book? And then I can read. I know it's definitely in the footnote there. I'm just trying to find.
No, not that one. All right, Krishna Kesava has it. What is it?
Yeah, I got it, Prabhuji. I got it. 6 urges.
The urge of speech.
Yeah. Urge of speech, mind, anger, tongue, belly, genitals.
So basically, Shikshastakam verse 1. Watch over
Yeah.
The tongue? What else? Speech means the tongue, huh? Speech means...
Separate.
Oh, it's separate? Okay, the speech, then what else? Mind?
Yeah, speech, mind, anger.
Anger. Then?
Yeah. Tongue.
And what is it?
Stomach.
Tongue.
Tongue.
And yeah. And
Stomach.
belly or stomach,
Huh?
and genitals.
Genital.
Yeah.
These are the 6, huh? 6 urges come from these things. Everybody wants to talk, to say something. Huh?
Yeah. and shall I read the 6 defects, Prabhuji?
What's it?
6 defects.
Then, wait a minute. Let's make sure we know what these are. 6.
Okay.
Donna, can you understand those 6? The speech, yeah, the tongue, the speech.
The mind,
The mind is always running very,
like an airline.
it's an urge. It's also has a very difficult, it's explained in the Gita, it's very difficult to control the mind. Mind is always going in so many different ways. Huh? Then, what else? Kind of the tongue? Tongue is always ready to eat something, huh? Taste something nice. Very difficult to control that for people who are interested in tasting so many different things. You eat so many different things. They want to eat meat and this and that and the other thing. And I heard that in China they like to eat so many things that we can't even imagine. So,
But
then tongue. Then what else?
the stomach,
Tongue and
Well,
then
it's not only
anger.
that, it's
Anger.
gluttony.
When you become, when someone makes you angry, then it becomes very difficult to stop that anger. Like you want to get angry at everybody who contradicts you, who doesn't agree with you or whatever. Then anger. Then what is the next one? Belly. All right. So then the hunger, eating. People want to eat. That's very hard to control. And then genital sex life. People want to engage in sex life. They are unable to control that often. And they are looking always for that sexual enjoyment. So all these things, these are the urges that the living entity has to deal with. Main urges. Then, Ajay Prabhu, what are the defects?
Yeah. Defects, excessive eating.
Excessive eating.
Yeah, excessive eating. And one second. Materialistic endeavors.
Endeavoring, okay.
Third is useless talks. And the fourth is inability to follow instructions.
Okay.
Fifth is bad association. Sixth is fickle-mindedness.
Fickle-mindedness. Fickle
Fickle mind.
Yeah.
Fickle mind.
Yeah.
We'll accept something and then it'll reject it. Accepting and rejecting things by the mind. will think, oh yes, this is a very good idea. And New Year's they want to make some resolution and they never keep it.
I found the footnote, Maharaj. It's nicely explained. I found the footnote.
Okay, what is
It's on
that?
page
What does it say there?
So it says here, which you've said mostly, the 6 urges are those of speech, the mind, anger, the tongue, the belly, and the genitals. The 6 faults are overeating or collecting more monetary funds than required, over-endeavoring for material objects, unnecessary talking about mundane affairs, being too attached or too neglectful of scriptural rules and regulations, associating with worldly-minded persons, and lusting after mundane achievements. The 6 good qualities are enthusiasm, patience, confidence, the determination to reform activities favorable to devotional service, the resolution to abandon the association of non-devotees, and the discipline required to always follow in the footsteps of the predecessor acharyas. The 6 kind of saintly associations are offering gifts in charity, accepting charitable gifts, revealing one's mind in confidence, inquiring confidentially, accepting prasadam, and offering prasadam. Nice. Krishna.
Is that okay, Sana?
Yeah. Thank
Maharaj?
Where's my mic? Wait a second. Yes,
Maharaj,
thank you,
I have
Maharaj.
sent a link in the chat.
Huh? Yes.
I have sent a link in the chat where Srila Acharya Maharaj has given some explanation about control your urges. Then he discussed something about these things there.
Oh, good. So everyone has that link?
Let me see.
What is he saying? Can you summarize?
Basically, Maharaj, he emphasizes the importance of prasadam after explaining all these urges.
Jai, very good.
Prasad seva karite hoy sakala prapancha joy.
Okay.
So he explains the prapancha, all the defects are gone by taking prasad.
And who else?
Maharaj, I had one doubt, Maharaj, regarding the materialistic endeavors.
Yes.
I never really understood that part because in Gita, Krishna also mentions that everybody has to do some occupation in order to maintain their body, etc. To keep the body, mind, and soul together. So for that, we'll have to do, at least in our environment, we exist. The reality work is required for everybody. So I don't really understand, because if we don't work, that is like opposing the materialistic and that kind of move. So the basic confusion is like, if we're working, it basically means we're interacting with the material energy. So why materialistic endeavor is discouraged? And sometimes the contradiction is this, like, it's okay to earn wealth as long as you keep Krishna in the center. So that is the contradiction which I was not able to understand. Like, people who are in the grasp ashram especially. Like, is it wrong for grasthas to, pursue materialistic endeavors? Because they have to. They have to, but while keeping Krishna in the center, Guru in the center, I think they have to, materialistically, they have to pursue things in their life till they become grasthas or whatever their Guru orders.
Okay. So main thing is to understand. Yes? Any more? That's your question.
Yeah, Mara, like that is a contradiction which I never understood. Like, even within the devotee community, I've seen, people are of different occupations and
Okay. Yes.
And some, yeah, like some people say it's okay to go on.
It's like
It
this.
does not contradict.
I mean, I understand it like this, huh? Everyone is eating. No, everyone is eating food. Everyone has to eat something. You can't live without eating, isn't it? Everybody has
Yes,
to
yeah.
eat. Everybody has to eat to live in this world. Now, is eating a materialistic activity or a spiritual activity?
Eating materialistic.
Eating prasad is spiritualistic, but if it is not offered to Krishna, obviously that becomes very materialistic and also it's sinful according to Gita.
So all people are eating then, and devotees are eating, isn't it?
No, really.
Yes, no.
Huh? Not really. Tell us, Vasraj, what's the difference? Let me tell.
Honoring prasadam, not eating. Not just eating.
Anyhow,
Give
yes,
honor to prasadam.
honoring. So everyone is eating. Yeah, devotees, yes, they're also eating, but in a different mood, different mentality.
Yes.
Different, the whole very different. Huh? We don't consider it a material activities, even though the material people are eating. Well, what's the difference then? Okay, you
So
say we offer the food
whatever
to
we,
Krishna. We offer the food to Krishna, but then what is it? What is the difference for you, for the individual person who is doing that? What is the difference between you, that person who's doing that, and the person who's not doing that? What is the difference? Huh? What is the difference? The person is offering his food, and the person is just eating. Then what's the difference between those two persons? Huh? What is the difference? What is the difference? Tell me.
basically, like as far as my knowledge goes, even in Prabhupada's some of the speeches, he says prasad purifies the nerve, basically the nose, and it helps us to become Krishna conscious as well, and it helps to understand the scriptures better. Prasadam as our diet.
And I see there's a difference in consciousness. The consciousness, the awareness of the devotee and the awareness of the non-devotee, different. The non-devotee is not aware of Krishna. He's not aware that there's anything more than his own self or herself. And that they have to somehow get something out of this world, that they don't, that they have to struggle to get from this world whatever they can get. It's called exploitation. They see the world and they have to take from that for their own satisfaction, their enjoyment, whatever. But devotee has a different consciousness. He is aware of Krishna. There is God, there is Krishna. There are devotees of Krishna. And there is the service of Krishna. Materialists are not aware of any of those things. They only know exploitation. They know nothing about devotion, dedication. Sridhar Maharaj told there are three types of mentality toward the world. The exploitation mentality, the renunciation mentality, and the dedicating mentality. A dedication, renunciation, exploitation. Each person is absorbed in these different types of, has possible these three types of mood or attitude toward the world. Who wants to exploit, who wants to renounce the world, and who wants to dedicate themselves to Krishna. So what mentality a person has when he's eating, when he's working, when he's playing, when whatever they're doing, writing, talking, running, going to the store. Devotees do all these things, and the materialists do all these things, but there's a difference. You can work. Krishna doesn't tell anybody to stop working. But who is working with what consciousness? This is the main thing. Just like Prabhupada used to give the example, when the surgeon comes and cuts your body, it takes a knife and cuts you. Sometimes there's a criminal who come and cut you with a knife. Not the same as the surgeon. What's the difference? Surgeon has a different mentality to help you, to cure you. The criminal has a different mentality to kill you, take your life. The surgeon wants to give your life. Same activity, but different mentality, different intention. So the intention is all in all. We don't condemn the surgeon. Oh, you're coming to cut my body. You're a bad man. You're not a bad man. So like that. We have to think, what is the intention?
That's a very good information.
Whatever you do, that has not only the activity of doing that, but what is the intention of that, behind that action? That has to be understood. The intention, the consciousness, and the goal, the end or the purpose behind that activity. So devotee means one who's dedicating his life, his actions, his words. And sannyasi carries the tridanda. In our line, Vaishnava line, the sannyasi carries the tridanda. Tridanda means the 3 points, 3-pointed stick. You know that long stick, danda, it's called danda. And the 3 points means body, mind, and words. Body, mind, and the words. Devotee is who renounces this world, utilizes his body, mind, and words in the service of Krishna. He doesn't ignore the body. He doesn't stop talking. And he doesn't stop thinking about Krishna. Body, mind, and words. So these things have to be utilized for the higher purpose. The danda stands up, and the 3 points are going up. They're all utilized for that. Whereas the Mayavadi sannyasis, they have ekadanda, one danda, all one. Their attitude is to renunciation, renounce all diversity. Don't do anything. Anything you do will get you in trouble. In other words, anything you do is a material. Our idea is not like that. You can do, you can act. But act with the mentality, with the intention of serving Krishna. So remember these 3 things, and then it'll be clear. Exploitation, renunciation, dedication. The 3 attitudes we can have to the world. Exploitation, your mentality is to take from the environment what for yourself. Dedication means you can take from the environment, but you don't take it for yourself. You understand that is for Krishna. That the environment, your body, your mind, everything is for Krishna. The materialistics, everything is for himself or herself. That's all. So we want to take the attitude of dedication and whatever we do it as as a service. We try to connect that with the service of Krishna, remembrance of Krishna. So you are software developer. What to do? You have to somehow, whatever profits you are making from your work, try to give some of that also for Krishna. Don't just take for yourself. That's best. I don't know what else you can do as far as you can't write the software for Krishna if it's for your company. Sometimes you can also maybe serve the devotees by making some program that will serve the devotees or whatever, website. Somehow try to utilize your skills in the service of Krishna, just like Prabhupada asked us. He said, "You are a scientist. All right, now take your training and use that to show that life comes from life and matter comes from life." See, you say, he didn't say stop your science. Your science is all nonsense. Those who are teaching some nonsense, that is nonsense. The science itself is not nonsense. Like inquiry into what is the truth, what is real. Vigyan, it's called. Vigyan. Realized knowledge. Science. That can be utilized also in Krishna service. Why not? Everything belongs to Krishna, even science. Okay? So even software development, whatever it is, computer, they can also be used. You try to see how you can mold your life in that way, by which what you are doing can be utilized in the service of the Lord. Otherwise, we don't have to stop anything. Stopping is what is that? Renunciation.
Yes.
Right? Shanta Maharaj, you want to say
Maharaj,
something?
I was remembering once Sripad Maharaj was telling us that the software engineers, they can use their software skill like the scientists. They are trying to use this game of life, all the software, to present the wrong conception of evolution. If they can use their programs to show how it is not correct, that will be also a good service, he was saying.
All right. Why not? You can see how Shanta Maharaj, Muni Maharaj, myself, we're using science, DNA, their knowledge of DNA, biology, and of physics and all, and to show how it is either there's something wrong with their idea and how it can be used to understand a more broader conception. A broader conception. They're doing their science on the basis of without a scientist, that everything is working without a scientist. But how can you do science without a scientist? Huh? How is it science possible if there's no scientist? So their whole conception is without any scientist involved, as if it's all going on. Somehow their explanation is eliminating the scientist's role. How is that a possible knowledge, correct knowledge? Something like that. I gave the example of this Darwin evolution theory. You'll see sometimes this the traffic, in America especially, they have all these roads intersecting one another, highways and so forth. And they're trying to analyze the traffic patterns. But you can't do it on the basis of only the cars. The car movements, the automobile is moving here and that automobile is moving on that highway, this one. Then how you can make a proper analysis without understanding that there is a conscious driver in each car. If you analyze only the cars, right, the moving of the cars, that won't give you a very good understanding of what the patterns are. You have to understand there's also some consciousness inside the car, and intelligence that is driving it. And you have to include that aspect also if you want to understand traffic. So the Darwinists, the materialists, they're only understanding things in terms of bodies. And they're neglecting the soul, the driver. And what kind of understanding can you get from that? Is it a proper scientific conception? Huh? Now we know. Now they're ready to admit inside the body or with the body there is also a consciousness. You have to include that. Otherwise, it's imperfect, incomplete, and false understanding even. Not like that. You just have to try to use your intelligence. Krishna consciousness is teaching some intelligent way to act, intelligent way to understand things that is more complete, that includes the individual, the person, the soul, in this explanation of reality. I don't want to eliminate that part because that is already there. Huh? And somehow or other, the scientists, they have become misled, distracted, so that they're concentrating only on one dimension of reality and forgetting the material dimension and forgetting the spiritual. But you can't do that and think that you have a whole explanation, a complete explanation of things. Huh? So the devotees are trying to awaken the consciousness within themselves and the consciousness within others. Awaken to Krishna and to the soul. Awaken to that dimension, that reality, that is the true reality, including the material. It doesn't mean that you don't have material or bodily activities as well. But both are there. And they work together. There's not that one is against the other. They're both necessary to get a proper spiritual life. Yes. What? Someone else? Is that okay? Vishwajit?
Thanks, Maharaj. Yes, Maharaj.
Now, are you still confused?
It's somewhat more clear, Maharaj. But the difficulty I was facing is like recently I was thinking on the word exists. It runs on Lakshmi, basically. I don't know, like money. So that's one of the toughest concepts, the reality which I couldn't comprehend, compare.
Now, one thing is, I could not hear properly. What did you say?
Yeah, my voice was cutting.
Can you hear me clearly?
Okay.
So voice is clear, Maharaj?
And now it's, yes, before it was cutting, so now it's clear. Go ahead.
Yeah, so basically, like, I saw that everything in this material world is like, the world we live in is capitalistic. Everything runs on money. So I also had another question when it came to money, like why it is called because that will again become Mayavad. These are two different questions, of course. If we call money as Lakshmi, that is Mayavad. So I don't understand why devotees sometimes call Lakshmi money as Lakshmi, because after thinking deeply, like I felt that it is as good as Mayavad if we call money as Lakshmi. So that is the question, Maharaj. Like the world we are living in runs on money, and the spirituality, like the Krishna consciousness, materialistic endeavor. We should not get caught up in materialistic endeavor. Yeah, but as you said, like if we can spiritualize everything, if we can dedicate everything, whatever we're doing to Krishna, then I think that makes things simpler.
Yes, Prabhupada always wanted to make a lot of money. build a big temple, Mayapur, so many temples he would build. And if you go to Tirupati, some of the temples in India are very wealthy. They have gold and so many things. But the people are in India, they're very, very happy to give that money for the temple construction. They're making a lot of money, but they're giving a lot of money also. It's a very nice mentality they have. They don't only think about themselves. In India, there are many people, moneyed people, they are giving their money to the temple and spiritual projects. It's just like in a materialistic person also, they're making a lot of money, like this What's his name?
Bill Gates.
Bill Gates. Bill Gates. He has some foundation for helping people. Mark Zuckerberg, Facebook leader, he also has some fund for helping others. Like that, these people, they're not just taking money and for themselves. They're doing that also, but they're also utilizing it for others. So just like we were talking about the urges, there are so many urges people have. Some people have this urge to make money, and they're very good at it also. So what to do? Prabhupada told when once they gave the example, he said when the train is going very fast, if you try to stop the train, it'll be be catastrophic catastrophe, and you can't do it. But if you try to direct the train to go in this place rather than that place, then it becomes useful to have a very fast moving train like that to direct it. So people are driven by this desire to make money. We don't say stop. That's bad. No, you use that, but in this proper way to help spread Krishna consciousness. Then it becomes very nice. More people can learn and go in that direction if the money people are ready to help spread that. Yes, Anna?
May I add something to this?
Oh, please.
Yeah, about making money, and it would not a lot of people try to make a lot of money, but it all depends what you're going to do with that money. Like my ex-husband, he was very rich, but it was impossible to make him give some amount of money to somebody who needed it. And he was very unhappy person. Although I loved him, I tried to help him to look at the world differently, to change him, but it was just like he would never ever donate money to somebody, or even if we would walk in New York past a beggar, he would not give him a coin or a dollar or anything, and he would tell me, "Don't do it. This is wrong. This will give him a bad incentive." And this is like a little example, but there were a lot of examples like that, and he was always feeling very unhappy, although he had millions of dollars. Now and then there are different examples of, like, I have friends, and they one young couple live in a big house, and they complain like, "Oh, we need to pay. Instead, my husband needs to work all day long, and he works on Saturdays and on Sundays, so that we would pay for leasing of these cars." And I told them, "Look, for the two of you, why do you need to have 3 Lexuses?" This is the example that when people go overboard, when people it just earning money for the sake of getting so much material things that they will make you unhappy instead of happy. Because like if you take a look around, even in your room and everywhere, right, you don't actually need this much stuff that we have around, and it makes us sometimes feel very frustrated, all the stuff that is around us. Now, and then another thing, like psychologists made, I listened to a show on NPR about that a long time ago. They did the studies when they had groups of people who had money, they gave them $20. And they said, like, you can keep this $20, or you can give it to somebody who actually needs it. And then they measured, I don't know, with a scale or something, and then it turned out that the people who gave away that money to somebody else, they felt really happy. And the people who just kept the money, they had the sensation of like satisfaction of getting more money for a while, and then it just vanished, disappeared. So, and we all know when let's say it's somebody's birthday or a holiday, what makes you feel better, to give a gift to somebody or to receive a gift? And we all of us know that it makes you happier to give something
I'd
to
rather get
people,
it.
right?
Yes.
No, when you give, even with a little bit, that's why when we do prasad and things like that, when we give it to somebody, it makes us feel better.
Yes,
Yes. That's
Okay?
right.
definitely.
And happier.
Maharaj,
Thanks for sharing.
Yes.
I have heard something Srila Siddhar Maharaj told to one devotee, I think it is Devashish Prabhu, that he was telling to Srila Siddhar Maharaj that when he's coming to the India, in the stations and bus stands, there are so many people who are begging, and most of them are not real beggars. They don't want, they are just earning by begging. He told that to Guru Maharaj. Then Guru Maharaj was little angry on him and told him, they may be doing that for some other purpose, but they are giving you opportunity to learn to give. Like that he told.
Oh,
Yeah, but Maharaj, like in Bangalore, your experience, right, with Shanta Maharaj? Like, Maharaj, unfortunately, here we have, like a big network of beggars. They're all connected and all. It's very, very saddening. Like, at least on four instances, there were some people who came and begged, just for liquor, just for drinking alcohol. So that made me very sad. So that is why, like, after having many bad experiences, usually what I do is I ask them if they want to eat something. If they're hungry, like, the best thing is we can give them some prasad.
that's true. Also,
Yeah. Maharaj,
so
I had this.
we have to also, it's told in the scriptures that we should not just give to anyone. Huh? Not that you give to anyone and everyone. That is not what dan means. That's not what charity means. Charity should be given to the sadhus and to the Vaishnavas. That's in that's charity in the mode of goodness. If you just give to anyone and everyone that is in the mode of ignorance, can lead to difficulties because you encourage the drunkards to buy their liquor and all that. Anyhow, so some discrimination is needed to get the proper punya, to get the proper
Sukriti.
merit, sukriti. And we know that if we give to devotees, especially Vaishnavas, then you get this sukriti that allows you to have faith. It increases your chance of having faith in the uh, sadhu, in Krishna consciousness, in the Krishna conscious persons. So sukriti is very important in order to get shraddha. According to Rupa Goswami, ado shraddha. That first instance of shraddha, where does that come from? That comes from those who have some sukriti, who have that sukriti to be able to have faith. So sukriti also plays a role, but that comes from giving in the proper way to the proper person. So, although it's hard to tell, and sometimes we may give to an improper person. No doubt there will be some benefit for us, but we should have to also be careful and discriminating to some degree.
Yes. Mother, this is, I hope others also get chance to ask questions, but this doubt is bothering me for a long time. It was almost like 6 months. It's very simple. It's very simple. I thought about why money is called Lakshmi in the devotee circle, why devotees call money as Lakshmi. And then after giving it a thought a couple of days and weeks, I heard, I thought like why money should be called as Lakshmi, because that will be my work. Because Lakshmi Devi predominates, like she is the deity who controls the money. She's not the money, mother. So calling money as Lakshmi. In fact, the Sanskrit word is dhan.
I think the meaning. I think what they mean when they say Lakshmi is that a Narayan, huh? Remember, not only Lakshmi. Lakshmi means there's Lakshmi Narayan, huh? She is the consort of Narayan, huh? She is the consort of Narayan. So Narayan is the enjoyer of all wealth. He is the enjoyer of all wealth. So when wealth comes, when there is wealth, that is his possession. That is his, what do you want to say? That belongs to him, huh? That belongs to Narayan. Wealth is the most wealthy, and all wealth is meant for his enjoyment only. It's all for his enjoyment. That is his attribute. He is the most wealthy. Right. All these magnificent qualities, they all belong to Narayan. What do they call that? No, the huh? No, the godlike qualities. Huh? Godlike qualities. Godlike qualities. He has possession of all that. Opulences, yes. Narayan is that opulent God. God in the most opulent conception. So all these opulences, wealth and strength and power and all those things belong to Narayan. Those are his qualities. So when we see wealth, devotee thinks wealth is Narayan quality. That's his manifestation of his properties, of his qualities. They don't see it as something else. They don't see it as wealth detached from him. They see that wealth and beauty and power and strength, whoever manifests that, those are the qualities of Narayan. Immediately he remembers Narayan. He doesn't think of wealth as separate from Narayan. It belongs to him. It's his quality. Wherever we see that manifesting, it is coming from there. Okay. It's like beauty. Beauty, we may think it is something separate for our exploitation. But devotee, when they see beauty, they know it is the quality of Krishna. There's something coming from him. It's something that belongs to him. And they are reminded of him by seeing that. They're reminded of him immediately. So wealth is also like that for Narayan. Wealth, knowledge, power. We all see these. Devotee sees those as the qualities of the Lord. And people may take them separately from that. They are in Maya. That's Maya. I wouldn't say Mayavad, but that is Maya. That is Maya. To see everything as separate from Krishna. So devotee sees everything in connection with him. Then to call wealth Lakshmi, that is Lakshmi. Wealth is that position of servant of Krishna, of Narayan. Huh? It is in the position of service of Narayan. It is the service of Narayan. So Lakshmi is that Shakti. Wealth is that Shakti, energy that serves Narayan. And in that sense, and say that all wealth is Lakshmi, a servant of the Lord, his property. Understand?
Yes, Maharaj. So in essence, basically, devotees call money as Lakshmi or wealth as belonging to Lord. But when it comes to money, actually, because I was so confused regarding the money being called as Lakshmi. Now, as per your explanation, in essence, the devotees call money as Lakshmi in order to remind themselves that this is meant for Krishna service.
No, we can, yeah, I'm not, it wasn't clear because your voice is cutting again. Say again.
Okay. Is it clear now, Maharaj?
Go ahead, speak.
Yeah. So in essence, I said in essence, devotees call money as Lakshmi, so that in order to remind themselves that this is meant for Krishna service.
Yes, it is all. It is his already. Devotees know that everything is his already. Offering it to him is just a matter of remembering that it's his already. Don't be a thief.
Whenever we are saying,
Don't be a thief. And don't be a Ravana. Ravana wants to take Sita for himself. But Sita belongs to Ram, you see. And similarly, wealth belongs to Narayan. Don't misunderstand that money that you're holding is something for you and not yours. Already, it belongs to him.
So basically, when we call money when we call money as Lakshmi, we are remembering Narayana at the same time.
You're remembering, you are seeing it properly. You're seeing it properly. There's a proper conception.
Yes, ma'am. That's nicely explained, ma'am.
Maharaj?
Yes.
Srila Govinda Maharaj, he said the money department that belongs to Radharani's department.
Yes, that's right. I remember devotees would always bring money and they give it to Srila Maharaj. Srila Maharaj would have a little wallet with all the money, and anyone who wanted money, he'd have to go to him for the money. Because in our conception, Radha Dasya, Gurudev is Radharani. And he manages, or she manages, all the monetary affairs. And I think Charya Maharaj also told that one time that the lady, the wife, is the one who the man goes to work and he gives the money to the wife. He doesn't try to be the chief in the house, the boss. He lets the wife be the boss. And doesn't try to take advantage of the wife for his own sake, but he's the servant of the wife. Give her everything, and she manages the affairs of the household. So that's there. Proper conception. Proper conception. That everything, the Shakti is manifest in so many different ways. But the Shakti belongs to the Shakti Mam. The actual possessor of that Shakti is also part. And that Shakti belongs to the Shakti Mam, Krishna. But Krishna is very much attached to the Shakti, his Shakti, Radharani. Radharani feels Krishna is mine. And the Radha Dasi devotees, they worship the devotees, the Shakti. And Sridhar told we are Shaktas. We are Shaktas. Sometimes the Shaktas are considered the impersonalists, the materialists. But we worship Shakta and as the servant of the energy of Krishna. That all belongs to him. So there's no problem in worshiping the Shakti.
Maharaj, it is
Rus.
told as Suddha Sakta, Maharaj.
Suddha Sakta, yes. Suddha Sakta. Anyhow, it's, a very high understanding of things. Basically, it's just part of understanding Krishna consciousness, that whatever is beautiful and wonderful and lovely and sweet and whatever it may be, that is but a spark. And the Bhagavad Gita, Krishna says, these are just a spark of my splendor. Huh? The tall mountains, the starry skies, whatever it may be there that seems so awesome and wonderful, that is just a spark of Krishna's potencies. No, don't be afraid of all those things, but see them properly. Try to see them properly, that's all. And then nothing can take you away from Krishna. When you see the environment is friendly toward you, that is all leading back to Him. And then you can deal with anything. And nothing that is will drag you away from Krishna. It will drag you toward Him more and more. Hare Krishna. All right.
Hare Krishna Maharaj, I have a question.
Okay.
Can you please tell Advaita Gadadhara Goswami and Srivasa Goswami, how did they get the names Advaita, Gadadhara, and who given them? Can you give a little bit brief about them?
Advaita, yes, it's interesting why he's called Advaita Acharya. So, in the Bhagavatam, Bhagavatam is mentioned that Advaigyan, that is told that there is Brahman, Paramatman, Bhagavan, huh? What is that verse?
Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagwaniti Sabdate.
How does that begin?
That is... I forgot, Maharaj.
Can't remember. Anyone remember that verse?
No.
How it begin? Maharaj is there?
He already taken rest, I think.
Okay.
Badanti tat tattva vidas tattvam yaj jnanam advayam.
Advayam.
Yes.
Jnanam advayam. How does it begin?
Badanti tat tattva vidas.
Badanti tat tattva vidas, yes.
Tattvam yaj jnanam advayam.
Tattva yaj jnanam advayam. Then Tattva yaj jnanam advayam. This non-dual advayam, jnana advayam means non-dual knowledge. Now, why is that called non-dual knowledge? That highest knowledge, which is, and then it's differentiated. It says Brahmeti, Paramatmeti, Bhagavaniti, Sabdyate. It's called as Brahman, Paramatman, and Bhagavan. There's one thing that is called by three different names. We don't mean that Brahman, Paramatman, and Bhagavan are three different things. They're all one thing. But it's different. They're different names for one thing. Why is that? Why is that? That Krishna can be called by different names, or that the absolute truth is one, but it calls also different. So Mahaprabhu taught the one and different. And not that it's just one, and it's not that it's just different. It's one and different. So that Advaigyan, that one knowledge, is also different. Can be determined in different ways. That is the nature of the Vaishnava conception. And not that we say, yes, it's all Krishna, and there's nothing else. It's all Krishna, but there's so many other things also that are related to him. Just like you are a man, huh? But you are not only a man, you are also a husband, but you are also a father. You may also be a brother. You may also be a friend. Huh? How one person can be so many different things. But it doesn't mean you're not one person, even though each of these things is different. Our friend can be a husband. Why not? You can have friends and you can also have a wife. Huh? Different kind of relationship. So in that way, Krishna also has his own personality and so many relations in which he is known. The Gopal, Govinda, Madhava. So in this way, we understand there can be one and different. Oneness and difference simultaneously is not a problem from a higher conception. If we try to limit a thing to one thing, that is artificial and not real. So and so many different examples we can give, that one thing can also have many different meanings and relationships, be understood in different ways. So that's what the Bhagavatam itself says, Advayan. Then Mahavishnu or Advaita Acharya is also of the same nature. Advaita Acharya is to represent Mahavishnu. Then Mahavishnu is creating so many things from himself, so many worlds, different conceptions and so forth, universes. Yet here's one. Advaita Acharya is given as the manifestation of Vishnu, who is allowing the incarnations. Right? Mahaprabhu is an incarnation. Incarnation means he is coming in the world. The Mahavishnu is the progenitor of all the worlds, all the universes. And then Mahaprabhu is coming into that manifestation. So it's very important to have Advaita Acharya there, because that's part of the incarnation, necessary for the incarnation to appear. Necessary. Otherwise, there's no question of incarnation without Advaita Acharya. But he wants that the universe, this world wants Mahaprabhu to come. So he calls Mahaprabhu into this world to save it from its own self, from its destructive capacity. Advaita Acharya. Then the other Gadadhar. Gadadhar. Interesting. The name is to Gadadhar. Gada. Dara. Who's carrying the Gada? Gada, I think, means what? Plow? Something like that?
No, mace.
What's it?
The Bhima holding that mace, Maharaj? Gada?
The mace?
Yeah.
Yeah, Professor. Yeah.
Club, all right? Club.
Yes, club.
Yeah.
Who's carrying the club? Who else is carrying the club?
Balaram.
Balaram, yeah.
Bhimsen, even Vishnu.
Yeah, Vishnu. Yeah.
Anyhow.
Bhima and Hanuman.
Gadadhar is he has come as the heart of Radharani. There are two Gadadhars, huh? The Gadadhar Pandit and Gadadhar Das. And Gadadhar Pandit is part of Mahaprabhu's party, and Gadadhar Das is part of Nityananda Prabhu's party. So Gadadhar Pandit is part of Mahaprabhu's party, and that is representing the heart, the mood, the bhava of Radharani. Whereas Gadadhar Das is with the Nityananda's party, and he's representing the Kanti, the Kanti of Radharani, the Bhava and Kanti.
Is it effulgence, Maharaj?
Effulgence or halo. So Gadadhar Pandit is the mood of Bhava of Radharani, and Gadadhar Das is the halo or effulgence of Radharani. Now, what's the difference between Chaitanya Mahaprabhu and Nityananda Prabhu's parties? What's the difference? Mahaprabhu is relishing separation from Krishna. Nityananda Prabhu is distributing that. What Mahaprabhu is relishing, Nityananda Prabhu is distributing that. So Gadadhar Das is the effulgence that is emanating from Radharani. That means that is being distributed throughout the world. That distribution throughout the world is the halo. That faith, that halo is the faith in devotional service. That is Radharani's halo. Who is bathing in the halo of Radharani is getting the faith of devotional service. Right? So the Gadadhar Das is representing that distribution, that manifestation of the halo, of the devotional service. And Gadadhar Pandit, he is relishing that mood with Mahaprabhu. Gadadhar Pandit, that bhava. He is experiencing that bhava. Where Gadadhar Das is distributing that mood. The difference, slight difference. So we know that in this spiritual world there's Goloka and there's also Audarya. Audarya is Navadvip Dham and Madhurya is Vrindavan Dham. Vrindavan Dham and Navadvip Dham, they are different only in Madhurya and Audarya. Audarya means distributing the Madhurya. That's Mahaprabhu's pastimes. And then that distinction is also there in Gadadhar Das and Gadadhar Pandit.
Maharaj, one small query. One devotee asked Srila Acharya Maharaj, I was hearing some time back in Navadip, that it is being told that Mahaprabhu is Krishna who came with Bhav and Kanti of Radharani. Then what is the remaining? If Krishna has taken Bhav and Kanti of Radharani, then what is remain that is there in Radharani? Then Srila Acharya Maharaj told that if you remove Bhav and Kanti of a person, the person is still there. Is he eliminated completely? So that remaining portion as Gadadhar. And in Sridhar Maharaj's explanation, I think heart and halo, there is some explanation as you told about this heart, the bhava and Kanti of Gadadhar Pandit and Gadadhar Das.
So there's always that. Yes, there's always that which is left. Even though Mahaprabhu has that, not that Radharani does not have that affection for Krishna. Still there. That bhava is still there in her. But she is not expressed. It's expressed by Mahaprabhu instead of her. But is there, nonetheless, in potency and potential. How to explain that? And subjective and objective. We can say it like that. What is subjective doesn't mean it's not there. Something is only subjective. You have some feeling, but you don't express it. Doesn't mean it's not there. It's still there, but it's subjective. It is potency. Potential.
Potential.
So potential and the potentiality and actualization, these are two different things. Not like that. In the Gadadhar Pandit, the potential is there. Potency is there. And that may mean what Gada means, potency also. Gada means power. That mace is like a powerful symbol. So potency. I don't know. I'm thinking like that. Gadadhar. Then what else? Srivas?
Srivas.
Srivas now represents the devotee. The jiva, who are worshipping Krishna. That's Srivas. So when Krishna comes, even his devotees are coming also. Not that he's just Krishna without his devotees. His whole entourage is there. That's Srivas Thakur. He represents the devotees who come and assist Mahaprabhu, his Anga. We speak of Gauranga. Gauranga means Gaur and his Anga and his devotees. They're all coming. They're all part of the incarnation of Krishna. Krishna doesn't come by himself. When he incarnates, everyone comes. They're all coming at the same time.
Saparsada Siyadhama.
Maharaj, all these names were initiated names given by Mahaprabhu.
What did he say?
All these names are initiation given by Prabhu.
Are they initiated names? Then are they all initiated? No, as far as I am aware, Mahaprabhu did not initiate any of them. They are parishad, eternal associates of Mahaprabhu. They are his associates. Far more than initiation. They are manifestations of his own potencies.
Okay.
In that case, initiation not necessary.
Okay.
What is that?
Vishwaji sent the message.
Maharaj, that is a link, Maharaj.
What is that?
Yes. Yeah. That link nicely explains like the avatars connected with Krishna Lila and the relationship the same avatars that have in Gaur Lila.
Gaur Lila, Krishna Lila.
Oh. Yes, that is. That's explained. The relationship between Gaur Lila and Krishna Lila, what the different devotees are. Sometimes they're identified with their pastimes in Krishna Lila. So that's what the nature of the parashad, the eternal associates of Krishna. When his incarnation comes, all those associated with him will also come. So Mahaprabhu is actually Krishna incarnating in the mood of Radharani. And so all of those devotees that are associated with Krishna come also with Mahaprabhu.
Maharaj, Srila Siddhar Maharaj, he told that there are some devotees who are attracted to Vrindavan more, but there are some devotees who are attracted to Navadip more.
Yes. Yes.
So there's some difference.
Sridhar Maharaj told that he was not very attracted to Krishna. In the beginning, Sridhar Maharaj said, I am not attracted to Krishna because of all of his lady relationships with so many ladies. He did not like Krishna so much. He thought there's not the highest morality is not taught by Krishna. So he said he was never attracted to that. And then, but he saw that Ramachandra was a very moral person, and he liked that. And he also found that Chaitanya Mahaprabhu was very renounced sannyasi and all that, and he was teaching also this kind of non-lady connection. So this later he understood what is the relationship between Mahaprabhu and Krishna. So it depends how. And he said I was not so much attracted to go to Vrindavan and all those things, but I was attracted to Mahaprabhu and Navadvip. And he found that there in Navadvip, those higher things, highest things of Krishna Lila and Mahaprabhu were both found in Navadvip. So he felt that is even higher than Krishna Lila. Navadvip. It has whatever is found in Krishna Lila, but and also what is found in Mahaprabhu, distribution of that. So as I explaining, Madhurya and Audarya. Madhurya is the relishing of the love for Krishna, and Audarya is the relishing of the love for Krishna with the extra added distribution of that. Just like he gave one verse, I don't remember the Sanskrit, that when the bee is collecting honey, they're also dropping some. When the bee collects honey, he puts it in his legs. You know, there are certain places on the bee's body where you can store honey from the nectar from the different flowers. They have a place to store it on their legs. Sometimes when they're storing that honey, the legs, they become so ecstatic they drop the honey and distribute it around to others. So that Madhurya is like relishing the honey, and yet also distributing somehow from the ecstasy that they experience in that Madhurya. They begin dancing, and that ecstasy starts being distributed around them. So both Madhurya, Audarya has both Madhurya and the distribution. Like that, he somehow explained why he was attracted to that more than the Vrindavan pastime. It's all sweet. Sweeter, sweetest.
Madhuram.
Is that okay?
Yeah, that's good, Prabhu. Yeah.
All right. Anyone else? Anyone else? Have anything to add? Subtract, divide, multiply.
Maharaj, it was, Bhakti Siddhanta Saraswati Thakur, who seems to be when he's saying that he cannot see any Vaishnav in Vrindavan. So is it because they are directly going to Radha Krishna worship, and he established Mahaprabhu Radha Krishna worship that we know in his all the temples. So the devotees that worshipping in Vrindavan, why he not consider them as Vaishnav even?
Well, before Mahaprabhu came, there was Krishna worship going on in Vrindavan, right? In India, basically.
Yes, Maharaj.
Krishna was being worshipped, but there was no knowledge, it seemed to be, of Radharani. Sometimes in the temples in Vrindavan or India, we'll see only Krishna. And maybe Radharani is there, but some little dress, no real deity is there. Even they'll put it like that. And in South India, everything, we find just Krishna worship without Radharani. So nothing much was known about Radharani until Mahaprabhu came. Then the whole importance of Radharani became known. So like that, how the mentality of those who are worshiping Krishna and those who worship Radharani, that was the distinction that Saraswati Thakur was trying to bring to attention. The worship of Krishna, the Krishna consciousness, that's very nice. But worship of Radharani, that is even nicer. Called Radhadasya. And that is what was taught by Mahaprabhu. That is the unique gift that Mahaprabhu gave. Namo Mahavaranaya. That how to worship the worshipper, the devotee of Krishna, that is also very high, and even higher. Again, we have to understand there's gradation. Just like we're saying sweet, sweeter, sweetest. There may be sweetness in all those activities, but there is also depth to sweetness, and depth to our Krishna consciousness and Radha Dasya, service of Radharani. There's some difference and similarity at the same time. And sometimes we get caught up in only one idea, one thing. But we have to understand one and different. It's all one, but it's also much variety there. Also different. This is Mahaprabhu's special message, Achintya Veda Veda Tantra. So when we can understand like that, the oneness and the difference, then we are making some spiritual progress. Otherwise, it becomes
duality, or what you can say, Maharaj, this only what you can say, multiplicity,
monism, some kind of monism.
monism and duality.
Not monism or duality, but they're both.
Yes.
They're both. Not only monism, not only dualism, but somehow both, inconceivably both, are there. That will help us. If we can understand that, will help us to understand what is spiritual life. Spiritual life is life, living. And in living, there's one and many at the same time. Hegel is very famous for showing that everything, no matter what, is a contradiction. That everything it has itself and its opposite in it. He started his philosophy that with being. Being, he said, being is the same as nothing. Now, who can understand that? Who can understand? I mean, you can understand how being and nothing are the same. He began his philosophy like that. So the thing and its opposite, they both exist at the same time. So once you can understand that, then you can get the key to understanding yourself and this world in the proper way. And then what does it mean by spirit? Your spiritual life. You are the body and you aren't the body. And we can begin understanding what is the soul, what is the spirit. Most people are absorbed in the world. It's themselves. They ignore themselves and are absorbed in the world. But the world is only the reflection of your own self. The content of yourself. Self is left as an empty void, abstraction. And what the content of the self is, that is their experiences in the world. So, but the self is forgotten. In this material conception, the self is seen as identical with the body, the world. The self is different. Self is different. And yet, somehow related to that. Somehow the same. And that is Achintya Veda Veda Tapa. To understand that will take some spiritual development. Rational understanding. Very deep.
Smart. I think there
Yes?
will be like when some person realizes that he's a soul but not a body.
Yes,
Can you hear me, Maharaj?
we can hear
Can
you.
you hear me?
Yes.
Yeah. So when I was saying that when a person realizes that he's the soul or she's the soul, not the body, I think there will be a major shift in the consciousness also, that the way they start looking at the world will be very, very different.
Yes. Of course. It's like, I like to use the example, the heliocentric and geocentric idea of the world. Huh? In the geocentric idea of the world, you rely on an experience, your senses, to make your conception of the world, your idea of the world. And the geocentric is depending on the empirical, sensuous idea of things. The empirical perception, the sensuous perception of the universe leads to the geocentric theory. Because what do your senses see? What do your senses perceive? That is that the sun is moving across the sky, you know? You see the sun moving across the sky. Then why you would say that the earth is, our sun is moving and the earth is standing still. That's how we see things. Our senses, our eyes, our vision, see the environment, immediate environment in which we are placed, as stable, as stationary. We see the other houses, the other people, the trees, and the whole extent of our immediate environment is not moving. That's how we see it. How do we think it's moving? If we have to see the environment as moving, we don't see that. We'd have to think that. We don't see the houses and the other things around us, the streets and the people. They don't see them spinning across, rotating on the earth. As we say the earth is rotating, but we don't see anything in our immediate environment as moving. It's all stationary. And when we look up at the sky, we see the sun as moving. We think the sun is moving because that's the way seeing works, how our judgment works. Our judgment, the senses, based on judgment, they see things in a certain way, which may not be the way things are, because we can think of different ideas. So the heliocentric says the sun is stable and the earth is rotating and moving, but we don't see that. We can think that by reason. And most people who are modern people, they understand the universe is like that, where the sun is stable, not moving, and the earth is moving. Of course, sun is also moving, but in a different way. But basically, we understand by our reasoning the sun is standing and earth is rotating. That will explain what we see, but we don't see. We don't see it that way. Our eyes don't see it, but we know that we can explain it by a different way. So we accept what we know by reason as a reality, and not only the sense thing as some kind of something produced by the limitations of the sense world, the empirical way of knowing things. So we can hold simultaneously two different views. One based on our experience, which we submit to the higher understanding of reason, the rational understanding of things. So the two reason can also be a way of understanding and getting the idea of things, proper idea, not based on senses at all. So we can recognize that there are different ways of understanding. Different ways. So we try to base our ideas of reality on the reasonable things, And everyone can understand rationally that there's Krishna. Must be that things don't just pop into existence like that. There must be some cause. And what was your question again? I'm now forgetting what you asked.
Who, Maharaj? Me, Maharaj? Or?
Oh, who asked that question?
No. Basically, I was telling that. Basically, I was telling that once a person realizes that he or she is not the body, but
the body, yes.
Yeah. So there will be like a major shift in the consciousness of the individual.
Yes.
So and really like appears like in a very different way.
So just like that, once you understand that the sun is the center, then your whole idea changes. So once you understand the self is something different from the body, your whole world will change. The whole perception of things change. Because then you have now you have self is there, the soul is there. Then you have to understand what is that relationship of that to Krishna, to the whole. Then you can have a chance to go further. Understand what soul? Everyone has a soul. Then what are all those souls? What kind of world do they live in? And that is the spiritual world, the world where Krishna is the center. Krishna is everything. They have relationship in that world, and not in this, only in the empirical world. Anyhow, that's good. All right. Any other question? Now it's getting late. I think everyone wants to go and eat.
We already get so much.
Go to sleep. From you. Go to sleep. Now I don't know what time. It must be late there. And you're in India. It must be late.
Almost 1:30.
Okay. All right. Then Uma Devi, she's okay.
Yes, she was there in today's in the Sangha, but I think she's not online on WhatsApp. Maybe she went for job today.
Okay. All right. My Dandavat pranams.
Maharaj. Thank you very much.
Thank you very much. Thank you very much for coming. Hare Krishna.
Jai Sripad Bhakti Madhava Puri Maharaj ki jai.
Jai Vaishnavinda ki jai.
Dhanyavad.